Hello, good humans. In my previous video about worker democracies, I invited you to participate with me in an exercise of imagination. We all know capitalism is very bad and inefficient at organizing society. It maintains outrageous levels of inequality. It destructs the environment. It causes anxieties and frustration. It molds human characters into submission and egoism. We can bring about a new great transformation for ourselves and for society. A great transformation 2.0 to improve on the first one that Karl Polanyi talked about in his book. Here are 7 virtues that we can develop for a life after capitalism. 1. Live by the wow principle. I talked about this principle in a previous video. It stands for wealth only with work. Your wealth must derive directly from the output of your person, not the output of others or the passive output of your assets. Do not count rent-seeking as wealth because it is capital reproducing itself. It is not you producing more output. This means your lifestyle must be independent from your wealth. As your wealth increases, if it does, your lifestyle should remain a constant, both from a material perspective and also from a psychological perspective. This will have an immediate effect on how much you consume, which should also remain a relative constant. This will allow you to maintain a steady control of your emotions, which include all the temptations of the consumerist society and pressures to climb socially for the sake of accumulating power or even more wealth as means in themselves. 2. Update your imagination. Seek, live, and invent stories that are disconnected from consumerism, align with minimalism, and enhance positive emotions disconnected from material possessions. Stories not of competition like buying a fancier car than your neighbor or a bigger house than your colleagues, or rushing to get into better schools than others. Rather, stories of experience that seek to build harmony with other humans and harmony with the environment. As philosopher Cornelius Castoriadis put it, what is required is a new imaginary creation of a size unparalleled in the past, a creation that would put at the center of human life other significations than the expansion of production and consumption, that will lay down different objectives for lives, one that might be recognized by human beings as worth pursuing. Such is the immense difficulty to which we have to face up. We ought to want a society in which economic values have ceased to be central or unique, in which the economy is put back in its place as a mere means for human life and not as its ultimate end, in which one therefore renounces this mad race towards ever-increasing consumption. That is necessary not only in order to avoid the definitive destruction of the terrestrial environment, but also and especially in order to escape from the physical and moral poverty of contemporary human beings. 3. Resist hierarchies. Social ambition should be selfless, having a higher, non-egotistical purpose in mind. Forget climbing in career as means into itself, and do not be complacent with accepting the position of those in power. Challenge power in all circumstances and fight for democracy. Those in power should be accountable to the many, not the opposite. Find or establish workplaces where workers can hire and fire their managers and directors. If the scope in life is to climb the corporate ladder or the social ladder or the whatever esteem ladder is in fashion, by definition you enter into a win-lose game. You will leave victims behind. You will develop a mindset of domination and entitlement. Illegitimate hierarchies are the drivers of capitalism. Resist them. Join the global strike when it launches. 4. Consume for need and have your material needs converge towards the average of all humans on Earth, not those in the global North. Do not seek to buy things to confirm your social status. Forget positional goods. These are goods like exclusive real estate, an expensive car, a rare painting, a degree from a top private university. Access to such goods signifies one's position in society and depends on relative income. As economist Georgios Kallis put it, unlike normal goods, the more of a positional good our peers have, the less satisfaction we derive from it. Positional goods are inherently scarce since scarcity is their essence. By definition, not everyone can have high status, own a rare painting, or the most expensive car. When advertising tries to ram into your mind a new artificial need, refuse it. Compare this artificial suggested need to the needs of a person in the bottom 50% of income earners in the world. If this need is unfathomable for a person making 3,000 euros or dollars a year, it is a fake need induced by capitalism, desperate for growth. Consumerism is driven by the narrative of convenience, positional goods, and positional leisure. Conquer your social anxiety, the fear of missing out. The only thing you can miss out is the connection to a beautiful story that does not need dollars to be told or listened to. 5. Remember the impermanence of everything. Nothing lasts forever. Everything made of matter decays and transforms. Objects break. Plumbing breaks. The roof will leak. Even life ends eventually. According to the laws of physics, all this is inevitable. Once you internalize this truth every day, you will get accustomed to cherishing the present and keep it as tidy as possible for the future, for yourself and for your children. For the sake of a tidy succession of carpe diems, you need to forego the relation to a material growth that was inseminated in us by a capitalism obsessed by material expansion. Remember, every time you feel the urge to buy things, instead ask yourself, can you reduce what you need? Can you reuse what you have? Can you recycle what is broken? Can you repurpose what isn't needed anymore? Can you reshare things that may be useful to others? Here's a summary of possible actions with examples. At the level of household, you can refuse to use certain objects. You can eat homegrown food if possible. You can work less. At the level of community, you can participate in guerrilla gardening, use local currencies, and car sharing. In the market, we can ban palm oil. We can push more shareable electric cars. We can tax throughput. States can shut down tax havens, can set up a universal basic income, can institute a 4-day work week with no reduction in salary. These are scalable virtues. You can read more actions at the end of the video. 6. Have a learning mindset. Neoliberalism, which is the label capitalism has since about the early 1980s, has been very successful at convincing everybody that the only possible system is the market economy driven by growth and profit. We must reject the status quo. It is as wrong as it could get. There are plenty of alternatives. We need to learn about them and fight to have them implemented. As capitalism defeated feudalism, we are now at a time when we have to challenge the foundations of the current system in order to dismantle it. 7. Have a purpose that includes others. It is very fashionable for corporations to declare a purpose that is noble and social. However, this remains a hypocritical position as long as corporations are fiefdoms of oppression, with a few lords at the top of the pyramid that tell others what to do without being accountable themselves to the same people. Your purpose should be genuinely inclusive of others, without an ulterior motive like profit or domination. A spirit of conviviality and solidarity can carry this purpose much better than posing to signal your values. You do not have to run for cancer fundraising and brag about it. Charity, for example, can become a perpetual quiet feeling, a natural catalyst in society widely shared, not a marketing flamboyant strategy. It is time to shake our lives. Dear good humans in the global north, the world is watching us.